In our last experiment, we proved that you can construct a high-margin digital asset in less than 45 minutes. But scaling your automated recurring revenue inside a single geographic jurisdiction is a critical strategic blind spot. If you earn your money, register your company, and pay your personal taxes in the exact same country, you are completely vulnerable to localized political risks and currency devaluations. The international elite play a completely different game. They don't compromise, they arbitrage. They split their lives across borders, generating strong capital from high-purchasing countries, sheltering that revenue inside tax-optimized corporate structures, and spending their physical days in regions with low living costs and high lifestyle security. This is the Sovereign Nomad framework. In this chapter of our Financial Autonomy series, we are going to dismantle the old passport system. I will expose the exact structural architecture you need to legally decouple your digital business from your physical location, protect your cash flow from aggressive local taxation, and optimize your environment for absolute freedom. Subscribe and let's map the global matrix. The traditional education system conditioned you to believe that working, paying taxes, and purchasing real estate in your birthplace is your civic duty. It is not. From an analytical perspective, a country is simply a service provider. If your local government charges high tax fees while delivering poor physical security and collapsing currency value, you are holding a bad corporate contract. Let us look at the cold mathematical reality of relative wealth. Earning $5,000 a month while living in a high-cost capital like New York or London renders you an average consumer struggling with high rent prices. But routing that exact same $5,000 into an automated digital account while living in an emerging secure paradise transforms you into an elite allocator. The architecture begins by separating your active identity from your capital collection. You do not run your Make.com automation nodes as an individual worker. You register a non-resident corporate entity, such as a US LLC in Wyoming or New Mexico, to act as your global transactional shield.
Your business officially operates in the cloud, completely detached from your home country. Because a non-resident LLC owned by a digital nomad is structurally transparent for tax purposes, you pay zero corporate tax if your software asset infrastructure sits entirely on cloud servers outside the jurisdiction. Your revenue flows seamlessly from your Stripe processing engine straight into your global investment buckets without any institutional friction. With your cloud corporation secured, you execute the physical migration. You target jurisdictions offering specialized digital nomad frameworks or territorial tax codes, regions where foreign-sourced income is legally exempt from internal taxation. You are no longer a citizen trapped in a local ledger. You are a permanent international customer. Gurus tell you to buy a house as soon as you generate your first digital sales. They want you anchored to a single piece of earth so you become a reliable source of property taxes for the local district. The sovereign allocator prefers absolute liquidity. They rent luxury minimalist spaces on short-term contracts, staying nimble and ready to pivot if geographic conditions shift. Once you cross this operational line, your cost of living drops by 60% while your purchasing power multiplies exponentially. You have successfully weaponized global economics to work for your personal timeline. But managing this borderless existence without dropping your operational pipeline security requires a final system configuration.
To live completely detached from a single territory, your financial plumbing must be decentralized. You do not maintain all your working capital in a single local bank. You build an international account stack, utilizing digital business platforms like Wise or Mercury, connected to your cloud corporation, holding balances in strong currencies like the US dollar or euro. The modern landscape has evolved. Countries are now competing for your software revenue. Nations across Southeast Asia, Southern Europe, and Latin America have deployed specialized digital nomad visas. They offer low bureaucratic hurdles and legal tax immunity on foreign earnings because they want your high-value digital dollars circulating in their local economies. Let's analyze the optimization matrix. When you shift your physical presence to a high-security, low-cost hub, your basic infrastructure expenses, rent, food, and transport are cut in half. Because your business is digital and staffless, your net savings rate spikes. Every dollar you don't waste on overpriced local rent is routed straight back into your three-bucket investment engine. Traditional business operators pride themselves on buying physical assets, warehouses, commercial offices, heavy machinery. They are buying anchors. If a localized economic crisis hits, they cannot pack their inventory into a suitcase. As a system architect, your entire corporate value fits inside an encrypted laptop. You can migrate across the planet in 24 hours. Operating globally requires absolute cybersecurity protocols. You do not access your Stripe dashboard or corporate bank accounts using public airport networks. You deploy dedicated residential VPN setups or private cloud servers, keeping your connection fingerprint completely static and secure from automated multi-factor location locks. The ultimate psychological shift occurs when you stop measuring your net worth in your native country's currency. When your Make.com automation loops collect global software fees and deposit them directly into your international asset portfolio, local inflation ceases to affect your lifestyle. You are operating on a hoard money standard. Amateurs try to save money by hiding their revenue or creating illegal tax schemes. This is a losing strategy that invites system friction. The Sovereign Nomad uses legal, explicit international tax laws written directly into the global system. By structuring your life around territorial tax rules, your legal defense is mathematically unassailable. You must understand the deepest layer of this philosophy. Arbitraging your life is not just about reducing your tax percentage. It is about reclaiming your biological freedom. It is the realization that your short time on Earth should not be dictated by the arbitrary regulatory boundaries of the place where you happen to be born. We have mapped the entire system, from generating recurring cash flow through B2B digital assets, defending it via the three-bucket framework, scaling past $10,000 with zero staff, and finally housing your entire existence inside a borderless sovereign shell. The economic escape velocity manual is complete.
In the final block of this international series, I will deliver the exact checklist of tax-friendly territories to target this year, show you the step-by-step setup to register your non-resident cloud entity, and trigger the ultimate open loop that completes your sovereign migration.
Let us look at the definitive global roadmap for the modern system architect. If you want a corporate shield, Wyoming and Delaware non-resident LLCs remain the premier cloud registries. If you seek immediate physical residency with strict territorial tax laws where your foreign software income is legally exempt, you look toward hubs like Paraguay, Panama, or the digital nomad frameworks of Southern Europe. The compounding impact of this geographical shift over a 3-year horizon is staggering. By eliminating 30 to 40% of localized income tax drag and cutting your physical overhead costs in half, you are effectively doubling your monthly deployment speed into your investment matrix. You are buying your freedom at twice the speed of anyone else. The traditional consensus wants you to stay put, buy a local car on credit, pay high-interest mortgages, and fund a decaying public infrastructure. They want you predictable, taxable, and anchored. The Sovereign Nomad breaks the consensus. They view the entire planet as a marketplace of jurisdictions, selecting only those that reward efficiency. Remember, the absolute currency of modern civilization is not the US dollar, the euro, or Bitcoin. The ultimate currency is autonomy over your daily calendar. Every visual node you deploy on Make.com and every legal shield you establish across borders is designed to buy back your hours from a system that wants to extract them.
When you achieve this level of structural mobility, local political noise completely loses its capacity to stress your biological system. While the masses panic over local election cycles and currency fluctuations, your infrastructure runs unbothered in the cloud, collecting global processing fees and storing them outside the local perimeter. This blueprint requires no permissions, no massive capital investments, and no complex coding degrees. It demands a laptop, a deliberate cloud corporation setup, and the clinical willingness to step outside your comfort zone. The manual has been laid bare across this entire series. The illusion of complexity is gone. The matrix relies on your geographic paralysis to keep spinning. Break the chain today. Subscribe to this channel, activate your notification shield, and drop a comment below with the word Sovereign to register your long-term intent with the algorithm. Let the network flag your profile for system migration. We have officially built the entire 4-part strategic masterclass, from engineering B2B digital assets to locking the 3-bucket framework, scaling past 5 figures with 0 staff, and housing your physical existence inside an optimized international shell. You now hold the complete documentation for modern economic escape. But as your borderless corporation scales and your global index funds overflow, you will face the ultimate technological bottleneck: how to fully automate your personal legal defense